Hi, this is an emergency situation stove. If you have something like denatured alcohol or something that can burn, do not use things that are explosive like gasoline. But if you need to heat water to purify water and all you have is simple basic stuff, this is a simple way you can do it. But now this is going to go through plenty of fuel, though unfortunately this is not the best way to do this. But in an emergency, it works. Now, I don't know if you can see the flame because this is denatured alcohol. It burns very clear, very clean. And it's definitely putting out some warmth. Now, this is 6 cups of water like I did on my other test. Now, something like this may or may not work for you. All this is a cement block that I can set my pan on. And then I have the foil on the back of the block around and open up on the front where denatured alcohol has been poured in. Now that's for an emergency situation. Things after hurricanes, tornadoes, things like that, if you don't have any other option. I've also gone through and I'm going to show you, you can make a simple wood stove out of basically anything. All it takes is a little ingenuity and, well, a little bit of work. Now I did put holes in here. You can cut out big slashes out of this can. It doesn't matter. This has had Christmas cookies in it, I believe. And I did have some brackets here. Unfortunately, I'm using my other large bracket for something else. So if you don't have brackets, you could take automotive sockets and set it around, and you can set your pot or pan on that. You want it to raise up. Now let's see if I can get this to light properly. As you can tell, the wind is out here blowing pretty bad. Now to create the hole, I just used a drill and drill bit and went around. There we go. And then I punched it out with a flathead screwdriver, and I went ahead and just used the screwdriver and flipped up anything that was sharp, any sharp edges. Now I really want that wood to catch before I do anything. Okay, that's still burning, but not as much as I like it. You can see the alcohol, and there was alcohol on the stone here. You can make a wood stove out of pretty much anything. That's the key. In an emergency situation where you have to have a way to cook or heat water or boil water, you can make it out of pretty much anything. Now I did leave a place in the back without holes in it for the handle because I don't want that handle to get extremely hot. And you can see flames. Now remember, this is out of a Christmas tin. I've already shown you how to make stoves out of cans, things like that. Like I said, if you don't have any type of brackets or anything like that, you can just use automotive sockets as long as they're the same height. And what I would do is I would put a screw or bolt through the socket and maybe a washer in there to hold it down into the lid. Now there's not a lot of smoke out of this. There is some, but not a lot, because the pot itself is raised up. Now, like I said, there is 6 cups of water in here. Things like this are for emergency uses. You know, you don't want to use this every weekend to go camping. But if you have an emergency and all you can find is some wood and you have no propane or butane, no natural gas, you have no electricity, you still have to cook. You may have to boil water, for you can see the flames coming out from under this pot. It's pretty good flame up. Um, to get this to ignite so easily, what I did was I cut my wood down. Well, basically I broke it down with my foot. Now you can see this looks a little bit wet. That's because it is. What I did before I tried to ignite it, I soaked the ends of a couple pieces of wood in denatured alcohol for a few minutes and let some of that soak up in there. That's why it lit so easy compared to some of the other stoves. Now it is burning. You can see the paint and everything burning off the top. That's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. All that matters is, can you use it? Now you can see the wind is really blowing. So if you have some type of windscreen or a place you can put this that's more out of the wind, that's even better. Now I've already shown you how I clean my stainless steel coffee pot here. I do use Everclear and it cleans it right up. And if you know anything about soot, black soot, if you get it wet, it's sticky. It's almost like a tar substance. That Everclear takes it right off. Now, this can hold a decent amount of wood if you go all the way around with it. But remember, most of the flame you want concentrated more in the center. You actually can have a bigger hole than this. That's up to you. Like I said, you can literally take the lid, turn it upside down on a flat surface like a piece of wood, like this, turn it upside down, use a flathead screwdriver and a hammer, and literally beat a circle around on the inside, and then pry that off so you'll have your hole. Now, you don't have to make holes around the outside, but you do have to have some way for air to get in. Once again, I'll explain it like I did with the other stove I made. Let's use this piece of wood. This will be the side of that over there. What you need to do is make a hole big enough to get air in there. Now you can make bigger holes than that, especially something like this, if you want to shove sticks and stuff in there constantly. Me, I don't. I would take a pair of pliers and just lift the lid off if I needed to add more wood to it. But, because it is not very tall, but you can make it just by cutting out a giant hole to where you can slide in stuff like this. Or even this. Let's say this is the hole I cut out. You could actually slide stuff in like that. Once again, this is for an emergency use. You can make a wood stove out of a lot of things. And this is just more proof. With a little ingenuity and a little bit of thought, you go through what you have and you figure it out. That's all you need to do. Any metal can will work. The larger the can, the more wood it can hold, the longer it's going to burn. If it's a wider can, the easier it is to set your pot or pan on compared to one of those small cans. Which you can see the cans I had up here are gone. I did give them to the homeless guy that's over there under the bridge. But once again, and here's a trick. If you don't have denatured alcohol, before you put the lid on, light your fire, and then put your lid on. Now I understand this is going to be a pretty long video. With the other two wood stove videos that I'm merging with this one. So it's going to be a pretty long video. But just imagine if you have to have something. way to make ramen noodles, heat up soup, make some chili, anything. You have to have a way to cook. You have to have a way to purify water if you need to purify water. You have to have something. Even if you have to go into your cupboard and get out something with a metal can, any metal can, and figure it out. It doesn't not take a genius to figure out how to make one of these. It really doesn't. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet. When I was 27, I had a pretty bad stroke, and my brains are sometimes scrambled, and literally I mix up and mess up on words a lot. But if I can figure these types of things out, anyone can figure them out. All you have to do, figure out how you have a can, how you can lift your pot or make it to where flames can come out. If you are using a regular can, slash deep, make a V cut and 2 sides, and then some small holes or medium-sized holes on the other 2 sides, 3, 2, 3, maybe even 4, and put some holes in the bottom of the can, around the bottom. Not through the bottom, but around the bottom. That way you can get plenty of air ventilation, and if you need to, when the ashes fall to the bottom, it still gets air and still going to burn. Let's check this. Now, let me check the wood, because I'm pretty sure it's almost out of wood, yeah. Unfortunately, I did not break enough pieces down. Ow. Get in there. Now, the longer the pieces of wood, the harder it's going to be. Let's see if those 2 pieces will ignite. Let me see if I have a shorter piece. I mean, I don't know if I can throw this. No, that's pretty long. Let me break a couple pieces down. Watch your ears. As you can tell, since I have the pot lifted up, I can actually shove some sticks in there and leave them out. But I'm not sure how much air they're going to get. In fact, I'm not even sure if this is going to ignite. It may. There we go. So, with a decent sized opening, and if you have a little bit longer sticks, sometimes you can just shove it in the top, and I don't know if you can see the flames. There we go. Yeah, with what little wood I had in there, plus what little wood I added, this should boil. And you can see all the coals and stuff from the last few stoves I tested. And unfortunately it is raining. That means I'm out in the rain. Even though I'm a little bit covered up. So, like I said, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. All you have to do is have some type of can, make sure the flames can get out through the top under your pot or pan, and have air holes, and you have a wood stove. This is an emergency wood stove. You can figure out what you have and how you need to make yours. Now this can is pretty small, but for an extreme emergency, just need to boil some water, make some chili, soup, hot water for ramen noodles, or even, I don't know, hot chocolate, things like that. Um, could you cook on something like this? Yes, you absolutely could, but you would need to have a lot of wood prepared, small enough to go in there. The easiest way to add wood in this is to take the top off instead of sticking it through the hole. So we'd need a pair of pliers or something that you could take the top off with. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you could cook on this. Now, you can see that water is starting to boil. Now, what I will do is when I make this video, I do have 3 videos to merge together. And I believe I'll put this one first, the little one, little can one second, and then the big coffee can one third. So if I remember how to do that in that order, stay tuned for the other videos because I will merge all these together. Anyway, like I said, it's real easy to make. Look at that. You can see all the hot coals in there. Just once again, the top. There we go. Alright, that is it. I am fixing to go. Once again, emergency wood stoves are pretty simple to make. In an emergency situation, you just have to figure out how to get your air holes in the bottom, how to lift up your pot or pan for the best results. You want that flame to come out and go under your pot or pan. How to have a hole in the center. And that's about it. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. This video I'll put first. Or, you know what, I will... I'm thinking about, I may just upload this separately. Because if I don't, my next video will be like an hour long. So I want to cut down on those. The time. Alright, I'm fixing to go. Anyway, you can still see, I don't know if you can still see, there's some fire a little bit coming out here and there. I'm trying to catch it as it goes around. But it is almost boiling. So if I had some more wood in there, or threw some more wood in there, this would definitely be boiling. I did not really use that much wood. Now, if you're going to use something like 2x4s, on something like this is really too tall. So it needs to be a little bit skinnier. Remember, you have to have air going over and around it. So this will go right up to the lid, and you don't want that. Now, you could cut it down, perhaps in half, like this way. And then use that. Pieces this big are fine. You just have to make it a little bit smaller as far as the length. Okay, that's it. I'm fixing to go. Everyone have a good day. Bye. Hi, I just got done with my test with the latest wood stove I've made. Now, unfortunately, I did delete the one where it showed all the black stuff all over this. With the second can stove I made. You can see the second can in one of my other videos that I will post with the making the wood stove for the homeless guy. I'll label it something like that. But I just got done testing the last wood stove I made out of the cookie tin. Now look at this. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about black soot. Now this is how I clean it. Now, I did go through a video with this, but I wanted you to see me do this. You can actually see how much soot is here. So let's set this down here. There we go. Sorry about this. The phone is in my dish drainer. Now, first thing I have to make sure the pot is cool or cold to the touch enough to where this doesn't go poof. Now, I am trying to see this while I am doing it. Unfortunately, it's not easy to do while I'm trying to look through the camera here. And unfortunately, I do not have help. Now, the bottom is going to be much, much worse. Look at that. That's just off the sides. I don't know if you can see all the black. There we go. The black. Now, to clean the bottom, I pour some Everclear in there. Let it set a minute, because I want this to break this down. Now, you're seeing this in real time. Now, I do still have some Everclear on here. Now, if some of this will not come out, then you may have to use some type of scrub brush or soak it. And I will show you in the sink after I'm done. Let's put a little bit more here. Now, this over here, I may end up using a little scrub brush on it or something like that, but right there, I don't know if you can see that, it's a little bitty black. Now, for something like this, what I would do is I'd actually let this soak in the Everclear a minute. Then I would use something like this and scrub it. Now, it is hard to do with this coffee pot, holding it with one hand and scrubbing with the other. It's difficult to do. So let me set this down. Can you see it? Yes. This is not real difficult. I'm not really putting any force. Make sure I get it all. Now, there's still a little bit there. I'm not worried about that. But this is much, much better. I did say I would show you me cleaning. Yeah, that even starts to come off just my thumb. So, oh yeah. Since that Everclear's worked on it, much, much, much better. Now remember, you will have to rinse this. Alright, let me show you the sink. Let me get this Everclear closed. I will show you the paper towels. And then I will have to rinse this off and clean out my sink, which is not a big deal since I just use Everclear. Alright. This is the black soot off the bottom. Now, if you've camped or done anything like that, when you get this soot on you, it is next to impossible to get it off of you. If you use dishwashing liquid, it becomes sticky like tar. Now, I do have a little bit on my finger. It's not a big deal. I will just use some Everclear on my hand after I'm done. Now, remember, this is flammable. Dispose of it properly. Now, this will dry out, and I'm just going to throw it in my trash. But you can see my sink in there. It's gross. So, let me set this back down, throw this away, and I'll be right back. Sorry. First thing I'm going to do is rinse this off. Now, I know I already covered this in another video, but I wanted to show you in real time how I'm doing this, because in the last video there was not a lot of soot in it, or on it, should I say. Look at that. Much cleaner, much nicer. Let's set this over here. Now, there is a little bit here that is kind of sticky, and you can tell it's kind of... Unfortunately, I already closed my Everclear, so... there is a little bit in my sink. And you can see some of this just did not wipe off because I need to put some Everclear on here. That's not an issue. There's some in my sink here and here. Now remember, I just ran water. So you can see, even though I had water running, some of this Everclear is still in the sink. So it is picking it up real easily. If it doesn't pick it up, pour a little Everclear on your spot. If you don't have a paper towel, you can use one of these. It does really well. This is virtually no scrubbing whatsoever to get this clean. And it is nice looking. Alright, that's it. I'm going to merge this video on my last one with the new cookie tin DIY wood stove. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. I apologize. What I will do is I will put this first. Maybe. I don't know. Since the average duration of my videos is people watch it like 3 minutes and turn it off. You know, we'll see. I think I'll put the other one first. Anyway, that's it. I'm fixing to go. Everyone have a really good day. I will upload the other DIY emergency stoves, wood stoves, at a later date, because it will just be way too long if I merge them all together. Okay, that's it. Everyone have a good day. Bye.